Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 45 minutes after the hour. And we are back for our final segment with Shelly Covington-Montana. And if you have missed this, goodness gracious, you're going to be so disappointed all the way until you pick those archives up on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, Stitcher, wherever you want to go. But you know what? This has been a great show. We've got to get through some other things, and I can't wait until we do this the next time because there's so much more.
Yeah, there really is.
There really is.
Yeah. So, anything you want to talk about, I'm open. I'm an open book.
Well, you really are. And all people have to do is reach out to you, and you're more than happy to discuss your work and your findings. You know, you are a dedicated researcher. I understand why you won that award. It's what you do, and it matters to you.
It really does. It's my life goal, and you know, I'm really supported by my family and close friends. I've got a lot of people who consider me they consider themselves as my friends, and that's all great. But at the end of the day, you know, I don't appease to people's opinions. I appease to the facts.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of consider myself, you know, like Renee DeHinden's daughter. He was an angry asshole, and excuse my French, but he put forth the true facts, and that's what I'm here for. My father would expect that. My husband expects that. I dedicate a lot of time and my own money, which is a lot of money, to what I do. And, you know, a lot of people consider this, you know, just a fairy tale, and I don't. So I take it extremely seriously. This has nothing to do with my opinion. It has to do with the facts that are given. But what people do is they are complacent. They don't look for facts. They look above the facts or beyond the facts because they're ignorant in the fact that they don't self-educate. And I try really hard to do that because I'm just
there's so much material. Joe. There is so much material out there.
There is.
Centuries worth if you go back. Yeah, you don't have to just start in the 40s or 50s, right? You can go back through Lewis and Clark. You can go back, as you said, to the Vikings.
Well, right. But even if you didn't have that history, let's say you had a Bigfoot experience all on your own and you had never seen anything written in history about Bigfoot, you shouldn't really have to go back and look at the history. What you should be doing is looking at the facts about wildlife and natural occurrences. There is science that involves all those things and why it is what it is. So that's where I put myself. It's not, I mean, the history is amazing and great. All that does is tell me, yeah, there's something weird going on out there. But what I focus on is the science that involves what is happening right here and right now. And that is what is so compelling and so interesting and so fantastical. You know, it's just like my tracking certification stuff that I'm working on right now. It's not about just the tracks that you see in the ground. It's about the spore, which spore is every single thing that is left behind by an entity that went through the area. So a broken branch or a nut that was cracked open. Those are the things I study. And what could have made that, and why did it make it, and what time of year did it make it, and what region was it in, and what animal did that, and how did it do that, and why did it do that? Those are the kinds of science I'm interested in, because if I can go about that science, I can discount everything else. And then if I can't explain this Bigfoot encounter, I may have something.
Yes. How many
Bigfoot
cases
should always be last.
How many cases have you had that you've been researching, incidents and experiences that people have reported that you've been investigating? How many have come up with no logical explanation?
A handful.
But that
honestly.
handful are significant?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
that's the thing is it's hard for me, because when Facebook has, okay, this is what I always like to say. When insanity found the internet, it messed up Bigfoot research.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have all these crazy, cool cases until the internet came along. I've got cases that are 50 years old that were never spoken about on the internet in Texas, because people didn't want to talk about it because they felt they would be considered crazy.
Right.
But what you see in those type of cases are these Bigfoot just act as normal wildlife. They don't do anything weird, or there's no human aspect applied to it. Like, they're not building a quote-unquote structure. Mm-hmm. They're standing in the field waving their arms like, look at me, which I assume has something to do with there's something going on somewhere else around them. But, yeah, it's only a handful of cases, and most of them are up close. Like, they can describe the eyes and the teeth and the hair on the body. Like, I've got one guy who describes to me that there are cowlicks on the shoulders. Like, the hair actually rotates to where it looks like a cowlick on all the joints. I find those kind of things extremely important. My favorite encounter here in Texas is the hog hunter encounter, where a gentleman was in his tree stand and he had baited an area in this kind of open field with a tree line that squared off this field, and he was hunting for hogs, and he was in his tree stand watching the hogs come up to this baited area. But he saw something out of the corner of his eye in the tree line. He looks over, and then this quote-unquote Bigfoot, who is watching the hogs, and it's jumping back and forth from tree to tree, lining up the hogs. And then it leaps out like a frog on all fours to the hogs and slaps the hog so hard it hits a tree, and then he jumps on it and he beats it with his fist and kills it.
Oh, my goodness.
Those are yeah, it's a great encounter. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, do.
And those encounters I'm most interested in because they're basic wildlife behavior.
Yes, they
This
are.
Bigfoot was just hunting. He wasn't, there was no human behavior involved. There was no BS chatter involved. He was hunting to survive.
Yeah.
He ran out. Well, he beat the hog. He picked the hog up. But the weird thing was, he looked up towards the hunter in his tree stand and showed his teeth. And I've got many encounters. I've taken many reports where they show their teeth like a dog will.
Yeah.
And it, shows its teeth.
Like, stay back. Do you mean like a warning? Oh no, have we lost you, Shelly? Not for long. Welcome back.
I'm sorry. I don't
It's
know
okay.
what happened.
Well, my question was that teeth, was it like a teeth baring, like a threatening thing?
Yes. It showed his teeth, like, stay back. It put the hog under his arm and turned around, and another whoop came from the tree line, like, whoop, like.
Oh my goodness.
There was more than one. Those are the encounters I'm interested in. True wildlife behavior with these things.
Well, we've got I've got to tell you, we've only got 2 minutes. So
that's okay.
Do you want to tell people how to get in touch with you so that if they're interested in participating in your women's event, then the Female Sasquatch Inquiry, or just to talk with you? Tell them how to find you.
Absolutely. Well, the easiest way to get in touch with me is my Facebook page, which is Shelly Covington-Montana, and just IM me, just message me, and I keep up with that. You can also contact me at scovington1963 gmail.com. But my Facebook page is my most active page, but I'm also active on Instagram at CryptoChick2. And but yeah, if you want to visit, contact me at Shelly Covington-Montana on Facebook.
Well, I have to tell you that this has been a fantastic show. I'm so glad you joined me tonight.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed it so much, and thank you for having me.
Well, this was neat, and it went so quickly. Even the chat room is like,
it did.
Oh my goodness, this is just going by at warp speed. I'm like, I know. Mm-hmm. So thank you again, and I do want to let our listeners know, thank y'all for being here, because this is just the reason, y'all are the reason we do this, and here at Fate Magazine. Go ahead.
And if anybody wants to research with me, I'm doing 3 BFRO expeditions. One will be if you go to the BFRO